cost of avoidance. We just looked at how the brain's naturally being pulled towards avoidance to protect ourselves. And it does feel easier in the moment just to look the other way. But avoiding these conversations, as we've said, just makes it worse. So what do you think are some of the costs of avoidance? Well, there's first of all the time that is wasted while we are overthinking the situation. And of course, it's not just us that is having to have that difficult conversation, it's the other party or parties involved as well. So we can lose an awful lot of time. And some research reveals that about 43% of employees spend 2 weeks or more completely overthinking unresolved work issues. You multiply that out, that's an awful lot. And then, of course, there's also the financial cost of people not speaking up. An article in Forbes stated that 1/3 of employees believed that it financially cost their organisation because they kept quiet at a critical moment. They didn't want to challenge or have that difficult conversation, perhaps with their manager, something that they had discovered. But there's also the human cost that is even more concerning, and that is the impact on mental health. There was a major research study carried out. It was actually carried out towards the end of COVID by Lumina, and it was discovered that people who feel uncertain about meeting their managers or their organisations' expectations, that feel uncertain about those expectations. They don't have a clear understanding of what their managers or organisations' expectations of them are, had up to a 16% higher mental health risk factor compared to the employees who felt quite confident and had clarity of what was expected from them. And this links back into what we've just been talking about, that craving for certainty and being uncomfortable with the unknown. And if we think about that as a leader, when we actually avoid having a difficult conversation, let's say about performance or expectations, because we think actually, we want to spare someone's feelings, in actual fact, we may think that we're doing a good thing, that we're sparing somebody's feelings, but actually we could be driving up their mental health risk by 16% due to the anxiety of the unknown that they are experiencing. So talking about performance management and setting expectations might seem like quite a mundane, routine task, but actually it's a vital act of care for your team's well-being. Avoiding difficult conversations won't make them magically go away. Ignored problems fester. They bubble beneath the surface until finally explode. And as we know, from experience, when situations do explode, it always happens at the wrong time. When the stakes are really high, when the pressure is totally maxed out. And we can be absolutely sure that those explosions will cause a massive amount of fallout, irreversible damage perhaps, compared to if we'd have had the conversation earlier and it was just those minor ripples that would have been caused at that time. So if avoidance costs us our budget, our culture, and our mental health, we've got to start thinking about what we are going to do about it. How do we stop building walls and start building bridges?